Welcome, friends, followers, and transients to Planet Coaster with me, Vapor. And I thought I would kind of give you an insight into what I've been up to. So, when I was sick, um, the couple of times that I felt well enough to actually come and sit at my computer, I decided to kind of have a tinker around with Planet Coaster. I've had this game like since it came out, but I've not really played it that much. So I thought, well, I'm kind of not well. I'm not working, not making videos for YouTube. I may as well give it a go. So realistically, although I have had the odd go of it in the past, this is probably my first like real effort at trying to do something with it. I'm well aware by watching other content on YouTube that there is some amazing people out there that create some amazing stuff, whether it just be kind of fantasy or even semi-realistic geekism. I highly recommend going and checking him out because he builds some, at least from my point of view as an English person, because he's English as well. He builds stuff that reminds me of my childhood. So it's just crazy what some people come up with. But I'm giving it a go myself, and this is what I've done so far. So this area of the park is going to be pirates themed. There's a weird issue. I don't know what's causing it, but you can see how it's. I think it's a level of detail as I move around. I think my settings are on full, so I'm not too sure why it's doing it, but I'll get to the bottom of that at some point. But yeah, from kind of where this wood path starts, this is going to be kind of my pirate area. And I guess once we get to about here, I'm probably going to box it off and have another area starting over here. I'm not sure if I'm going to go for a western area or a spooky sort of area. I've not really decided yet. There are several theme parks in the game, so if you're not kind of au fait with the game, we've got Pirate, just general Planet Coaster, Fairy Tale, Western, Sci-Fi, and Festive. I also have all the DLC items as well, so that will be Back to the Future. So we have the car. We also have the car for Knight Rider as well, the Munsters, and Spooky. So yeah, I've got quite a bit to play with. So. Lots of options. The thing about this game is you've got to remember that just because, for example, if we let me go to the building, just because this bit here is a piece of wall, it doesn't have to be used in that way, and you can use things in so many different ways to get a different effect. And I guess having the vision is what really counts. If you can have that vision, then you'll come up with some crazy stuff. I mean, for example. It's very basic, but this isn't an object that's in the game, this lamppost. This is something that I've made. So this little bit of metal down the bottom here in this post is one object. The lamps, or the lanterns, whatever you want to call them, are an object, and these little hooks here are an object. But you put them all together and you get something that looks like a lamppost. And it works quite nicely. The same with the planters here. The planter is an empty planter, and you put the bush in there that you want and the flowers. So yeah, it's all very good, and I really love the animatronics. We've got these nice red coats here patrolling. I've not got a name for this ride yet, hence it just saying ride name. Any suggestions? We'll go for a ride on it in a minute, and maybe you can drop in the comments a name that you think would be suitable. I was messing around with all the bushes and plants here just to fill this area in. I might do something a little bit more impressive in the future, but we're kind of happy with that as it is. There's lots and lots of unfinished things here. Oh, how on earth did I manage to delete that path? Is it this one we're using? It is. I think it was maximum width. There we go. Must have misclicked at some point. Yeah, so it's a lot of unfinished stuff because I've just been moving around, messing around with different bits and pieces. This is one of the first flat rides that I've put in, but still working on the overall area to get a nice theme going. As you can see, the ride has its own music. Just coming across the lake here, we've got the exit for the roller coaster, which I'm going to put some other things around here. Not kind of got around to that yet. We got a ship here, or should I say a galleon, because that's what it is. And they're taking some pot shots at the pirates. The pirate ship is currently in bits. The cannons below, if I can spin myself around, there we go. We've got cannons firing away here. And we've got splashes happening in the water. I'm going to move these around a little bit because they look kind of very together and they all splash at the same time as well. So I need to change the timing on those, which you can do. All these fires and things are not necessarily part of the boat object. The boat is an object in itself, but you can add all these special effects and everything. It is really cool. This game has come so far since the early days. I mean, it was a great game when it first came out, but it's just absolute madness now, the amount of things that are in it. And there is an update coming this week, I believe on the 24th, which is going to add even more stuff. And I'm really excited about that. I'm not guaranteeing you a series or anything here. I'm probably just going to pop some videos in every so often of what I'm doing. I may even do some bits. In fact, I probably will. Since I've not uploaded a video for a day or two, I might play around and let you watch what I get up to. We're making a bit of a waterfall here as well, which not finished. It was just the start of. It's there to remind me that I need to do it. I'm not sure if I like this style. I usually have lots of jets of water like this, but we'll see as we move along. This is, as far as I'm aware, I think it can be used as it's like a monorail. I've never really tried it, so got a little train down here, and it's got nowhere to go at the moment, so it's just sat there. But I like the idea of being able to move people around. I mean, this is the entrance to the park, so we will probably have this go forwards and have some kind of area here with fountains and shops and some buildings and stuff, just to kind of separate it from the rest of the park. And at least if there's a road coming back here, so this may continue to be wood. I'm not too sure just yet, but this can take people around and to whatever area I decide to put in here. These houses I'm still working on. I should say buildings, I don't know. As you can see right through them. We've got concrete on the side, so it doesn't look kind of as it should do. As if you look from the front, you wouldn't notice. Let's look more at, say, this, because this is the more complete version. So those of you that follow me on Twitter will have seen this image. Let me switch it to nighttime, because I think that makes a huge difference. It just looks really nice. As you can see, we've got shops in here. They're all closed at the moment, so these little signs are representative of what's inside here. And we have a second layer as well of shops. So if you see here, we've got a path that comes all the way around, and it stops here. I need to bring that path down here somehow. I've not quite got my head round how yet. We need to finish off everything that's going on here too. I think I'm going to make these into toilets and stuff. I'm not too sure, but toilets would probably be a good thing. But again, we're still working on this because we're trying to make the building come round the corner and look the part. But I think it's coming together quite nicely. Again, oh, that one's a little bit high. Can we select the building that's attached to? Aha, there we go. That's fantastic. I do love all the little sound effects in this game. At least that's correct now. Yep, they're fine. So I'm thinking potentially, those of you that were watching the live stream will know that I had a park. That park is still safe. I still have that. But this has kind of spurred me onto this. But I'm thinking of putting a racetrack around here. So this building's currently got nothing in it, and this whole layer here has nothing in it. So I'm thinking of having a track that comes through this building here, this whole layer, and round the back here, and we'll have some kind of cove going on here, with some piracy business going on, and background here, just to kind of finish off the area. I've not, in my mind, kind of got that all together, so to speak, but yeah. And what we'll do is, I don't know if there's any coasters in the station. I think if we jump on one now, we're probably going to ride the one that's in motion. I'm not sure, which I don't want to do. I don't think the other one goes until the other one is almost back, so let's wait a second. Oh no, it's starting to leave now. What will happen if I click? Yeah, we're going to go on the one that's going. Oh, that sucks. Maybe that's the primary one. Let's wait for it to come near the end. Now, this building isn't finished inside. I haven't done all decoration yet, so you won't get a full feel of it. Here we are. So it has its own music as well, as you can hear. Yeah, I'm not sure what seat we're going to go for. Let's go for car 1. Let's go for seat 2. Let's move across one. Or seat 3. No, let's go for seat 3. Oops. So we got a little screen here. It says V-Force at the moment. The only reason that's here is because I built this little block here, and he looks that way every so often to see if it's safe to go. So I'm going to have like a little CCTV screen on here. I've just not changed the image yet. V-Force was a coaster that I built on my live stream. So this will have what looks like a CCTV image on it at some point. We have a little prison cell here with some pirates in. You may not see them because we shoot past. There they are, yep. Woo! We've got the Kraken that comes out and tries to demolish us as we come past. Now, this has probably been my most successful roller coaster. Some pirates in there as we come through. It's got green across the board for all the statistics, for like the excitement, the fear and the nausea. I'll show you that in a second if you didn't notice it a minute ago. It's still got a few like bumps in it that I need to iron out, but I think it's fairly smooth in general, considering it's a winged coaster. It's going quite nicely. And we're going to come through and we're going to kind of avoid the cannon shots. Now I can change the timing on all of these shots and explosions for when the coaster comes through that section, and I will do that at some point. So literally as you're coming towards it, like flames and explosions will be going off everywhere. Let's look from here. So yeah, as you can tell, the inside of here clearly isn't finished yet. But it's getting there, and we haven't actually got the park open. Can we do a cinematic? I'm not too sure how the game will deal with this because we go underground quite a lot. Let me speed it up to the point of where we're going to launch. Oh, yeah, see the game's going to be a bit weirded out by certain things, which is it's not the best view in the world. There we go. I think it is pretty smooth. I don't get why it's going underwater and stuff, but I thought they'd fixed a lot of the issues with the cinematics, but maybe not. Maybe it's the way I've built it. But you can see it's a winged coaster, so everyone's sat out the side here. So when it's going through these caves, I had to come through and let me come out of here, and I had to jig like the width of the caves, because originally I had a wooden coaster in here. So the ones of you that saw the screenshots on Twitter would have seen a wooden coaster, but I've changed it through to this I think it's a launched coaster. I think it is, yeah. I think that's what it's classed as. But yeah, I'm gonna have all these explosions going off and stuff. It is super cool. I really love it. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think. I've really enjoyed doing this so far, and I'm gonna continue most definitely. I'm thinking we're going to name this train, just while I think about it. If it will allow us, yes we can. So if you want to name anything in the park, please let me know in the comments. Obviously those of you that are patrons will get first dibs on things. Well, I had a little bit of a crash there, so not sure what happened. My video card decided to go a little bit upside down when I went to name this ride. Slightly annoying. But anyway, we're going to call this the Noble Rambler, just because. I just think it suits. We will build a station around this and some signs and things at some point, but I think that works quite well. So what we got here, we're going to do a bit of a kiddies ride. So I guess we could do some decoration around here. Just a quick thing as well, there is blueprints on here. So you can get them from the Steam Workshop, but these are some that are just in the game. And it's like this, well, this is an entrance to a park by the looks of it. And it's like just cool, some of the stuff people build. Wait for it to load up. I mean, look at that. That is just awesome. Yep, I've got a lot to learn, but these are all shops, that's why it's loaded those up. But yeah, same in here though. There is like, that's just a couple of bushes put together, isn't it? We've got a fountain here. So some of this is like pretty basic stuff, but it's quite useful. And I've been using the blueprints to do certain things. Some are waterfall, so if I wanted to repeat it, I can. The row of lights that you saw down here, so I've got it saved so I can just replace it all the time. It's nice and easy. It's a quick way of doing things. The little bush thing we got going on here. Whoa, some to the terrain there. We've got a weird little kink in it. And these are the bushes that I was talking about a little bit earlier. But just little things to make the game a little bit easier when it comes to actually building stuff, because you want to make things as simple as possible. You don't want to be building the same things over and over again. So for example, if I wanted to continue this nice little bush here, or fence, the only thing is I find that I have to constantly line it up, but it works quite nicely. Now I think it let me, yeah, you see, it won't let me, it'll let me select individual pieces, but it's not classed as a building. If I'd have made it a building, I could have made life a little bit more simple for myself. But if I highlight the 3 of those, like so, will it let me advance? Well, I'll do advance move, but it won't let me do the duplicate and move, which sucks. And I learnt from this a little bit later on, because when I did the pathways up here, you'll see I have this little block for the fence, which now allows me to duplicate and move. So I'm learning. Slowly but surely. I think though we could do it, like I say, a little bit of scenery around here. I don't know if we want to continue that. I think we may bring that up here and come across, so we may build a different kind of fence, but this is going to be for kids, isn't it? So let's go to our custom objects. Let's go to pirate. It makes sense, doesn't it? So we could have some pirates in here and things, but I guess we don't want it too scary. So let's see maybe some fountains and stuff like that. What have we got going on here? I think a nice fountain would look good in here. Let's raise it up a touch. Now I know there's nothing underneath it, but I can do stuff about that afterwards. So we got these, we got this. Are they a similar size? I think they are. So if we whack this in the middle here somewhere. By the looks of it, these were all meant to go together. That sun is glaring, isn't it? Let's change the time of day a little bit. What about midday? Because the sun should be right above our head, right? No, that's... What? Ah, 12 p.m. There we go. And then if we can align this up right... Is that a little bit off center? Whoop. It's not far off, is it? But we can adjust this. This is one thing I love about this game. Just the tools are so powerful. We can get it just where we want it. Maybe it should be a little bit higher. Maybe somewhere like that. So it's just kind of kissing onto the other objects. Maybe that will do nicely. Well, that's quite tall now, so I may want to actually move that back down. The reason I put it higher up, I was going to put something underneath. Advanced move, and now we've got them all selected, I could just drop it down to the surface. Bingo. Although the ground isn't flat here, is it? Not sure what happened there. It was flat earlier. Maybe the game is just playing funny beggars with me. There we go. Perfect. Let's try that again. So if we do that, hopefully we don't select anything else in the background. 3 objects, it is definitely 3, so we know that. Let's switch to the world axis. Perfect. In fact, we didn't need to do that, but it's still not quite flat, is it? Doesn't matter anyway. I'm going to have bushes around here. So then we can put on top of here. Yeah, there is. So we got the parrot, not the pirate, and there is a pirate. Is that you? It is. So we could have him standing on top of there, quite simply. And there is all these other little things that we could have going around it as well if we wanted to. I could have had these replicated all the way around and had what's the word, and have it raised up a little bit. I mean, that was a potential option, but I think what we're going to do here now, if I wanted these to be in a perfect position, there's other ways of doing this. I'm just kind of randomly placing them. I mean, they're going over the skull, but they're not the same distance apart. I wouldn't say all the way around, but there's ways of doing it. Again, with that little piece of wood that I showed you a second ago, I might go through that again at another point if you guys are interested in some hints and tips. Maybe we'll just have her in here somewhere. And what else have we got? See, there's all these little things that we could put in here. I think there's an animatronic for, or maybe not. Maybe it's on top of a ride. I was thinking of like a sea witch, but yeah, maybe not. But if you see what I mean, there's so many ways of doing things in this game. You don't have to do it the way you think a piece would be intended to be used. You can just go with whatever you want. No, this is going to be a little bit more. This is where, if I'd have done it a slightly different way, this would have been a little bit easier, but it's not difficult. I'm not looking for precision here. Although some of these do need moving touch like you. X. Too shabby. And then if we go for, let's have a look, where's the water ones? Because I've got this set to pirate, it's not going to show me them. There we are. So we have different, we've got like little splashes, we've got some, I think those ones are too powerful. There we go, something more like these. Some of these are continuous and some are not, I think. Yeah, that one's like intermittent. So I think maybe if we take the larger one and if we sink one of those in here and do the same like where each of these little kind of tentacles stick out, I suppose. So they're all going off at different times. You can set them up to go at the same time if you really want to, but sometimes I think the randomness of these things are quite nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you really wanted to do something super cool, you could have them all going at the same time. And then the reason I've put these here is I was thinking of putting some lights on those, just to light these up, or maybe even pearls, because there is there's these objects where you can just basically do what you want and you can change the color of them and things like that to make some pretty awesome stuff. So if we're going to build a fence, I'm guessing it's going to be a wooden fence, so let's have a look under wood. So we got all sorts of different pieces here. So we got some pre-made stuff, so we could go with these if we wanted to. We could probably turn these ladders on the side and use those. We've got these nice little planters that are quite useful for fences, but we can make our own. So let's move across here, move away from that steam train actually, because it's quite annoying. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So what I'm looking for is that little block that I was referring to earlier. I think it's in one of these. Oh, is it? I think, is it you? I think it is you, yeah, because this creates a building. So if we drop that in there, and that would allow us to do some different stuff. I'm thinking of like a concretey sort of base. So what have we got? Maybe brick. No, maybe not that. Concrete. No, that's too boring. What about, I think it's called stucco or something like that. Is that its name? Stucco. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that. Yeah, that might work nicely. Maybe that's a little bit too... You'll see what I'm doing in a second. Yeah, maybe we'll go with that. I kind of would have preferred it a little bit lower in the ground, but we can adjust that later on. Okay, so get rid of you. Although if we wanted a kind of a pattern on the front of this, we can. So what I mean, you can adjust stuff. Line to surface, but I mean, yeah, you can stick things on the side and like I say, use them as they're not intended to be used, and it will just kind of give a little bit of an extra pattern. If I really wanted that, I'm not really interested in doing that, so that's fine. What have we got? Could use some of these. These things are quite cool. We may well use them a little bit later on. Let's just have a quick scoot around in here. I think we might have to switch back to the scenery tab. Here we go. Because these are quite useful for fences. So we can make our own fence, and that was kind of the idea. So if I just drop one of these a second, then it should allow me to, if if we just switch the angle snap on, just so it rotates perfectly. There we go. Actually, and if we just use the move key, there we go. Perfect. So if we line that up, the only thing is I've got to be careful how I place this, because I've got to remember that we're going to be connecting this as a wall. So realistically, I want that about halfway through. That might work quite nicely. Okay, so we'll leave you there. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And then drop back in here. We'll go for you. So same deal as before. We're going to rotate you. I'm going to try, because I'm having issues. There we are. Perfect. And then we'll move you. This is only very simple, by the way. Don't. This is just me showing you kind of what can be done. You don't have to stick to the limitations of the game. Right, perfect. So if we take you and we do Control and X, which will allow us to do that. I mean, the other way I could have done that, if I delete that, we can. I think it's a Control and click both of those. Do Control and X then, and then we can do it that way. So there's so many options. I can't really see properly with the light, but it feels like it's come forward a little bit more than the other one. Goes up nicely. Yep. As you can see though, this is slightly longer, so if I do that again, that's going to kind of go off into the next one. I'm not too sure how this will work. We shall see. Now I can save this as a blueprint if I wanted to, but I can pretty much just grab this and take it with me. Right. So that's now a building. Now I can stop this being a building, I think, at any point by removing that, but not 100% sure. So if we bring this back over here, let's rotate it around. Although we're going to have something on there, aren't we, later on? So yeah, let's go for about here somewhere. Let's drop it into the ground just a touch. And then we can Control X that, I believe. Yeah, we can. See, here is, yeah, I thought that may happen because of the way I've done it, but that's fine. Because I can just do to about there, which is about the same, and then I could just drop another one of those pieces in. So it is a lot quicker to do it this way. I'm guessing there is probably better ways of doing it. And then all I need to do is building. I don't know if it's going to let me do this. Maybe it's better to edit the building and do it. And once you're in edit mode anyway, it's not a huge problem. You're not going to let me duplicate you. Control and it's not going to let me do the advanced thing. That's fine. But yeah, once you're in a building anyway, you can do it kind of this way. Perfect. Now that tells me that this building here isn't quite lined up. So if we grab you, X, and just nudge you across a little bit. Perfect. And you. X. No? Move. Are you going to be fussy, are you? I think you are, aren't you? Ah, got you. So we have a very simple fence. I mean, it's not the tallest of fences, but it's something. Wow, I can't believe I've just spent the better part of 15 minutes doing that. That's the problem with this game. It's so easy to lose track of time. If we drop you about there. And this one, it doesn't really matter too much here because I am going to build some kind of entrance to this. But we'll leave it going in there like so. And I'll probably mess with these so they don't look so funky. But yeah, I think this is just so easy to actually do stuff. Once you get your head around it all, how it all works. God, that was difficult to say. And then we can go for some trees and some bushes. And we can just kind of fill out the area a little bit. Now that little block I can remove if I so choose. Let me turn this angle snap off. So it doesn't have to stay on. we can just like literally come in and litter the area with various foliage. Some of these you can change the colour of as well, which is very useful. I think it works quite nicely. I mean, palm trees seem to be like the sort of thing I should probably put around here, but we don't have to stick to those if we don't want to. And even though like some of these are leaning, you can rotate them around a little bit. Everything is rotatable, so there's like so many. Just the options are crazy in this game. What else have we got? I mean, rocks are one of my favourite things to use as well. I do use those a fair amount. So we can just make a simple thing across here, and then later on add some other bits. Now again, we can rotate these if we want to, so you're not getting the same little tufts of bush sticking up everywhere. But yeah, it works quite well. I think there's other kind of palm tree sort of stuff as well you can use, like the banana bush, I think it's called, or a banana tree, banana plant, I don't know, it's called something like that. It is in here, I'm pretty sure. It's big, got massive leaves on it. Is that it? Banana tree, there we go. But it's so simple just to get things going. I mean, this is very, very basic stuff, but like it just comes to life instantly. I absolutely love what you can get done. This is why I've avoided making a series of it, because I can spend 20 minutes just messing with a small area, and I figured that would irritate people. And then if I go to time-lapse, I'd probably be playing the game for hours and hours. And when I'm trying to do a couple of videos a day, and hence, well, I should say emphasis on the word trying, it just wouldn't happen. So, yeah, I don't know. But I thought I'd just give you a bit of an insight in what Vapor gets up to when he isn't making videos, although this is a video, but you catch my drift. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, but until next time, as always, take care.